what is the image and the impressions and about Islam and Muslims regarding or based on the public opinion polls. I think this field is not a lot studied, as you can find a lot of studies in the media, in the curriculums. So I think this will be an interesting thing to see what is the image until it's not working. Excuse me? So it's working here, but not working there. Okay, so and I try to do to collect as much polls as I can in order to get an overview. Thank you very much. An overview picture of the Islam. And in this methodology, I cannot go in depth statistical analysis because I am mixing apple and banana and trying to give a whole picture. And this is something that I have done with other books, so I find it interesting to find those in regarding Islam. Those are the main items. I'm sure I will not come in details of all of them, but at least we can see that those are the main topics that I found in the public opinion polls of the Western people, and especially the Americans. They are asking the people about those cases. And of course, under each item, there are subtitles. For example, when we are talking about Islam between peace and violence, what are the effects of like terrorist attacks of the image of Islam? This is for instance. So those are the main topics related knowledge of Islam, Muslim public perception, violence, Islamist and rule and democracy. I might concentrate on this just to be connected more to our session. Then I will end with regarding one and what can we do. Okay, I already talked about that I'm trying to collect those. Actually, one of our aims, I think the relationship now between the religion of Islam and Muslims is getting very worse period according to something. So one of the aims is how can we use those results, even if they are bad results or positive results, to have a better understanding. What can we say to do to pollsters? What can government do? What can people do? What can Muslims do? What can the Westerns do? So I think this, what those results which I expressed in my book, this is the book in details, of course it's in Arabic, but what I tried in the 6th chapter is trying to give advices to different parts who are concerned to have a good relation between the two parties regarding of the public opinion polls show. This is just a different survey projects that ask something about religion or Muslims. So some of them are direct and some of them are indirect. Like for instance, the World Value Survey is not asking directly, but when you're asking about Islamophobia, the project in the West, this is a direct project. Of course, there's other also. What I do usually, I go to data, I call data bank, which is the #1 bank regarding, especially in the American public opinion, and it's easy to use and just search by name, and you will find how many questions are there. So when I started doing my research, I checked Islam, Muslims, Islam, fasting, Ramadan, all those things related to Islam. And I found those numbers, about 200. What made me, when I was in the middle of collecting the questions, I found when we're talking about Islamic states, ISIS is as much as all thing about Islam. So that what made me wonder, and this is not my case study, because ISIS is a political issue, not as a religion issue or just a political regime, maybe we can say. So I have another book about ISIS, but this is not, I took it out from this. What I ask myself is, what are there is an issues there are issues that they are not in the polls, and they are issues that are mouth-talking in our region, like, for example, Islam as the fastest religion growing in the world. Those are some results. I will just go through some of them. For example, we have about whether you know Islam or not. We have a couple of questions. Of course, the questions after 2002 are much, or you cannot even compare between the questions before 2002. I mean, you have, sometimes you find one question in 1991, and you have a gap, no questions about Islam until about 10 years. So that makes it knowable that because of the events happened September 11 and etc. Those are some questions. There are some questions about Sunni Shia. Those questions are growing in the last 4 or 5 years according to the political issues. This is just a quick results. What I want to say is those are questions: how do you know about the sample of Islam? Some things about Islam like Mecca, Quran, something like. And it seems that the Western people, especially of course the Americans, I say, have small ideas about this. Do terrorist attacks increase knowledge of Islam? And you know, this is one of the, what was amazing in some of the terrorist people that we meet in our region. They say terrorist attacks can make people go and say and search for Islam. I say yes, but they search and they will get a bad image. So what are you talking about? So this is one of the bad impression about that increase September 11 or whatever happened is increasing to go to the internet and search for Islam. You have half of them negative, and half of them will get positive. But this is not the issue. Another finding that I found even in the Americans and the British people and Canadian people is, as much as you know Muslim personally, as much as you are positive view to Muslims and Islam. So if I'm talking with the Muslim people in our countries, we say we have to connect with others. Others should know you. Others should have a good personal relation with you, and so on. So this is just one of the correlations that I found in the book. People, it's unfortunately that some of the questions, they ask about Islam. What do you think about one word of Islam? They think about just covering the hair and having a beard, and they are forgetting some values which is more important in the Islamic religion. So this should be dealt with different people. This is another question about how favorable Islam. We have really bad results here. Oh, thank you. The bad results is the favorability of Islam is declining. And this is one of the points when I'm speaking in our region and people that say, you are spoiling our image in front of the world. And this is against da'wah, that's spreading the good beliefs. And I use a lot of this in my articles and so on. This is another example. A lot of people there were in the 2001, as you can see, this is the positive, the green one. You can see that how it's getting higher. We have different people who are more positive than others to Islam. Those are some of them, like blacks and whatever. Youth are becoming more positive than others. And this is similar to what I found in the Arab-Israeli conflict, who is in this side and this side. Okay, this is another things of results that they are concentrating on the problems. I want to go here, whom to blame for non-development. This is, even the people, they have, in the West, they have a bad image of the religion, but they know, when you ask them, do we respect Islam? Do we deal good with Islam in the media? Most of them say no. So it's kind of, yes, we know that Muslims, there are some Muslims are terrorists, some of them are bad, but we are at the same time dealing with this issue in a bad situation. This is another bad result that saying that Islam is encouraging violence. This is a percentage who think that extremists among Muslims are most. The last thing is about democracy, and I will end with this one. Democracy, it's too bad in some of the results that when you ask the Western people if democracy and elections bring Islamists to the rule, most of them, they say, we don't agree with that. And this is a bad result. And you know, this situation in the Muslim world is making terrorist people a very big excuse that they need their democracy only for themselves. And when we have democracy and when we have some elections and Islamics come to the rule, you don't find this acceptance. Look at pew results after the Pope in Egypt, and when they asked him about which is better for Egypt, the army rule or the Islamist Brotherhood rules, most of them say the army rule. This is too bad. I mean, this one is to the Western to stop doing this kind of, let me say, double face, which makes a little bit of problem in our region. So that's why they're thinking about. The Arab Spring rule is going to lead to things. Last thing, I think we can, what we can do. This is the last slide. We can monitor polls to see what's good and bad. We can conduct and participate in polls and get local experts from the Muslims, from the Western sides, to have a better understanding between both sides and to have good topics, ideas, what to do with the bad results. There are some websites or associations, organizations, they are doing bad results and using the surveys in a bad way, like the Muslim Statistics website. And thank you very much.